Just 2 days after the checkered flag waved over the dramatic end of the 2025 Formula One season, the paddock, still buzzing from championship celebrations, shifted its attention back to business. The champagne from Abu Dhabi had barely dried when teams rolled their cars back onto the Yas Marina Circuit for one of the most important test days in recent memory. This wasn't just a routine postseason test. It was the first true glimpse into the radically different world of Formula One coming in 2026. Despite the relaxed atmosphere compared to a race weekend, everyone knew the stakes were high. The mechanics worked with their usual intensity. Engineers huddled over monitors, eager to gather as much data as possible before the long winter shutdown. Drivers approached the day with a mix of excitement and caution, aware that what happened here could shape the early competitiveness of next season. This test was far more than a formality. It was the beginning of a brand new era. Each team was allowed to run 2 cars, which instantly transformed Yas Marina into a busy racetrack. One car was assigned strictly to Pirelli, fitted with early prototypes of the 2026 tires. These tires must withstand an entirely different aerodynamic environment as the sport shifts to lighter, nimble cars with much less downforce and more engine-driven performance. The second car was part of the young driver test, giving up-and-coming talents a rare chance to experience Formula One machinery outside of a simulator. With 20 cars running simultaneously, the circuit was filled with a unique mix of rookies pushing flat out and race veterans focused on controlled development runs. Naturally, the loudest spotlight fell on Lando Norris, the newly crowned world champion. Fans, media, and even rival drivers paused to catch a glimpse of him. Norris arrived for his first track appearance as champion wearing a custom gold helmet, gleaming under the sun. It wasn't just for show, it symbolized the end of a long, emotional journey. Even though he will run car number 1 next season, this test saw him reunite with his familiar number 4 for the final time. It was a sentimental farewell to the car that delivered his maiden world championship. Norris put in 71 solid laps during the morning session, focusing on tire data, stints, and evaluation work before handing the car over to teammate Oscar Piastri. After climbing out of the cockpit, Norris said it was the perfect goodbye run and a moment he wouldn't forget. While Norris provided the emotional highlight, Mercedes delivered the shock of the day. They rolled out a mule car equipped with a working prototype of the upcoming active aerodynamics system, one of the boldest technical changes coming in 2026. The adjustable front wing, capable of changing its angle on the straights and corners, gives us a first real look at next season's engineering revolution. It's essentially a preview of the cars of the future. Faster in straight lines, trickier in corners, and much more dependent on mechanical grip. Young talent Kimi Antonelli was entrusted with the responsibility of testing this complex system. The Italian teenager rose to the challenge magnificently, completing a jaw-dropping 157 laps, the highest of any driver. He wasn't just gathering data, he was gaining experience that could give Mercedes an edge when the 2026 season begins. But why did teams need these so-called mule cars? The answer lies in the dramatic differences between the current and future regulations. The 2026 cars will generate significantly less downforce, meaning the full-spec 2025 cars are simply too fast and too planted for realistic tire testing. To simulate the performance of next year's machines, teams modify their existing cars with reduced size wings, different suspension settings, and lowered aerodynamic load. These hybrid test machines, stripped down, less stable, and far slower, are known as mule cars. They are essential tools for Pirelli as they design the next generation of F1 tires, learning how rubber behaves under low downforce, high torque conditions. This also explains one of the most confusing parts of the day: the timing sheets. Aston Martin's Jack Crawford topped the times, followed closely by Alpine's Paul Aron and Williams' Luke Browning. But their impressive pace wasn't because they were faster than world champions. They were driving full downforce 2025 cars with proper 2025 tires. Meanwhile, veterans like Norris, Hamilton, and Sergio Perez were all in mule cars specifically designed to be slower. Antonelli, the quickest of the mule drivers, was still over a second slower than Crawford. The results proved nothing about driver performance, but everything about the technical split between the two testing programs. Beyond the headline times, the test also provided a valuable opportunity for newcomers. Isaac Hajar turned his first laps as an official Red Bull racing driver, an enormous moment for the young Frenchman. Arvid Lindblad, the teen sensation moving up from Formula 2, made his debut with the Racing Bulls and quickly adapted to the environment. These early experiences help new drivers build confidence before the pressure of preseason testing begins. They learn the car, the steering wheel settings, the communication style of their engineers, and the rhythm of working within a top-level F1 environment. Ferrari's day had its own symbolic touches. Charles Leclerc was in the car for the morning before handing duties to Lewis Hamilton, who completed his final laps before what he described as a total mental reset over the winter. Hamilton's first season with Ferrari was difficult, and this test effectively marked the end of a challenging chapter. His goal now is clear: return in 2026 with renewed focus and a car capable of fighting at the front. Several notable names chose to skip the test entirely. Max Verstappen, George Russell, and Fernando Alonso all decided they had earned a head start on their off-season. Verstappen joked after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix that he was lucky to escape the test, clearly ready for a break after another exhausting year. The test did include a few incidents. Rio Haryanto spun at turn 1, damaging the rear wing of his Haas and forcing a brief red flag for recovery. Esteban Ocon endured the worst day of all, completing just 4 laps due to technical issues. For Alpine, who already faced a difficult 2025 season, this was yet another frustrating setback, especially as they prepare for a future without Renault power. Despite the hiccups, the test delivered what fans and teams needed most: answers. It revealed the first visual proof of how dramatically the cars will change in 2026. It highlighted the impressive speed of the next generation of drivers, and it allowed Lando Norris to close his title-winning season with one final, meaningful run. As the sun dipped below the Yas Marina skyline and the teams packed up their equipment, the sense of transition was undeniable. The 2025 season was officially behind us. The countdown to the 2026 revolution had already begun. Teams now face the most challenging development period in recent memory, with months of design, simulation, and problem-solving ahead. This post-season test wasn't just a conclusion, it was a launching point, the first step into a future where Formula 1 will look, sound, and race very differently. And by the time preseason testing arrives in February, the picture will be much clearer.